Morning, 15th of July, Thursday. About a week on from the last video you saw. As you can see, still had some trouble with the gold, with the tops rotting down, but there is, as you can see, shoots coming from them. And hopefully, being such an early variety as it is, they might make it still to showtime, even if it's harrogate. I've got a few like those that should make normal time shows, and these, and then this is the Valentine. Just took those down to numbers and removed the main plant yesterday, so you can see that stub there is the original plant, and the free shoots, the ground shoots that I've left. This is varieties. Looks early, but does bud quite late. Probably needs to be at least 3 foot tall before it shows us the bud. And the same with the Elvis, which is looking better now. The base shoots are up and away, and we've got everything really ranging from a big plant like that, medium, and small, along that bed. This is the Ramses and Louis, Bryn and Aggie, Maybelline and Fairway Spur, Pink and Sherwood Peach, Greta. Chopped those down, hence the little plants there because I took the main plant away, and the water hardesley. There's the spurs, bits and pieces bed. Still struggling with those 2 plants there to stop the slugs from eating them, but I seem to be getting on top of it. White Elvis, I think there's a mixture of Wander's Aurora and Capella at the top. Mark Hardwick and John Hill, which I don't think the stock's particularly good on either of those. And then some bits and pieces, that would be Gemma Darling, Cheryl Gemma, Mingus Whitney, the 2 what are they? I always forget. Oh, Armour's Climax and Kids Climax. Bonaventure. Finally took those big fluffy plants down to numbers. So down there somewhere will be 3 fairly small shoots left on the plant, and all the big stuff took off. This would be Fairway Pilot, Go American and Ben Houston. So they're all looking alright, they're all down to numbers pretty much. They've all got the canes in, and all bar about 1 and a bit beds. They've all got the first tie on, so it's onwards and upwards from here on. Wednesday the 21st of July. Been very hot. It's about 26 degrees now, and it's only 10:30 in the morning. They all had a spray this morning, and another feed, one of their 2 feeds a week. I'm just going to quickly take you through the plot. We want to start seeing buds in a week's time, for me, for hopefully Midlands, bank holiday weekend. Certainly on things like Bryn and the slower opening ones. This is the Valentine that we stripped out the main plant last week, and you can see they've thickened up, fattened up. Now there's only the 3 bits, and all the stems coming out nice and straight with their first tie on. So that's the Valentine. Back round this way. This is the Rihanna Tammy, and there's probably thinking about a bud in there, but I can't quite see one yet, so that's not going to be far off, and that's one of the most advanced plants. Gold, which are here, I think I've pretty much lost 4 plants, maybe 3, but I think the other one will flower about Christmas. It's just from cutting them back they rotted down, and they don't look huge plants, but this is gold and it buds quick, so I don't think I'm going to miss out on them. I might not have many for the bank holiday weekend, but only need 6 blooms for then, so it's not really a problem. And these are the others. This one might even make harrogate if it keeps on growing, but the others are going backwards where the stem's rotted down, so I shall probably pull them canes out and just have a bit of space under the cover. Under here, just pulled it over, is the Elvis Supreme, and again no signs of buds as yet, but not far off. I put the netting on only because I brought it up here for the windbreak at some point when I put it up, and I just sort of dropped that over the top of the canes because Elvis really does not enjoy this heat, so it sort of might just take the edge off for him. This is Louis White, and again it's not enjoying the heat too much, but they poke up in the evening and they've got plenty of water and plenty of stuff underneath them. It's just pure strength of it. So our Ramses, a couple of those are thinking about budding now, and probably one like that, which is about the most advanced, will have just about a bud sitting in there, so not going to be far off. And we've got all these closely following behind, and some that are a bit behind that even, so I'm hoping that these smaller plants there and there will make harrogate. No, it's not harrogate anymore, it's newbie hall, but that's what I call it. These are the Aggie Whites running through, and then the Brins there, and again they're all just starting to get that pointy tip, and there will be, there's a tiny bud in there on the most advanced, so I might just knock those back when it comes to it. The Maybelline, been a bit queried about the health on them, but they seem to be growing through. It might just be me throwing too much food around. You do get this crinkly foliage on it, which is generally a little bit too much grub, but there's no discoloration in the leaves, it's just crinkle, so it's just probably me. And these are the Fairway Spur. We're certainly not going to be early with them, and they should come through nice and naturally to flower. The peaches and pink peach, we've got some big plants like this, which are coming up to waist height, I suppose, 6'2", so they're a good 3 foot. And the buds are thinking about it, but then we've got most of the plants following behind that, so they should be spot on. Again, they're all out from the ground, so that's worked. This is pink peach at this end. The Greta, which I did late, so I didn't want to mess about with these at all, and I just really push them out from under, and it seems to come. So again, I don't think I'm going to see many flowers for bank holiday, but I'm not going to miss going forwards with those. And this is water hardersly. It's a couple of plants I'm not that confident about health wise. That one there seems to have one good shoot and 2 not so good, and I'll give it a bit longer, and I'll probably strip the old out and leave some of the fresh and see what it does. If not, it will go on a journey. I don't mind losing 1 plant out of 12. Finally, the 2 sacrificial plants seem to be left alone a bit, but I don't think they're ever going to make anything. They've been eaten so much, but I've still got 2 of the AC Yeti and pretty much 2 of the Kia Magic to have a good look at. Going down, there's 3 Olympic Glenmark Endeavour there. They look alright. Keep them in shot. And then we've got Zorro down here, and I really try to do these late because it's very early at bud, and so far no signs of buds. There's only half a dozen plants. Wind's Aspen Glow, looking tidy. Not the healthiest naturally looking, but they look alright. Couple of 4 Amaranth Relish, and an oddball Clyde's Choice there, just to have a look at, come out of a touch packet. White Alvis, flagging in the heat, as they tend to, but they're doing alright. And again, we've got some big plants there that will be thinking about budding soon, and most of the others behind. Got a batch there of Wander's Aurora, and they're getting on alright and shouldn't be far off timing wise. And then a cluster of 6 Wander's Capella, and they're almost timed about 3 days apart. It seems we go from a little one there, next one, next one, next one, next one, and one that's thinking about bud. So a sort of intentional but unintentional spread there. Gemma Darling, I don't know if it's any good really. I know it's quite small, so I did do it, and it's quite early, so I did it late, stripped it down, and they're just starting to get going now. I'm not going to see any of them for bank holiday, but probably don't need it, but should see plenty by Wisley onwards. A couple of pink spur just to see if it comes out not streaky. Good strong plants, look very healthy. These are probably the strongest plants on the plot. Unfortunately it's caught in the Olympic, so it could come out with petaloids everywhere, but there's a really powerful plants there. You can see, get through the leaves to get to the stems. See them just, it's a cane. Anyway, they're big, they're powerful, they're 2 foot apart and they're sort of climbing into each other. There's 4 of those again at different stages. These Mark Hardwick I'm probably going to pull out the ground. They're just not healthy, and I'm not really that sure about these John Hill either. They have got some veining. It's not the healthiest of varieties normally, but some of them look okay, so they might get a stab at execution. Shield Gemma, and there's 12 of that, and I did it again late because it's quick to bud, just trying to make sure I didn't have to knock it about too much, or at all if I can help it. And I think those plants might just make bank holiday, and they're the biggest, and the rest are following behind, even to some that have still got the original plant left on and the shoots just coming out the ground, so hopefully they'll see me later. Again, if the flowers are any good, we'll wait and see, but thought I'd just give it a chance. If it don't work that way, then it won't come, I won't grow it again. These are the Mingus Whitney. I've gone through the far half there and just made sure they're down onto 3s, where these are still on 4s or more, and the odd shoot coming out from the ground again keeps on throwing them. So I'll be going back up this side when I'm finished. I've got a right old spread on the Kids and Almonds, which I was trying to do. Maybe gone back a bit too far. That one there, maybe we'll still make arrogant. It does bud quick. It's probably the most advanced plants I've got as far as budding is concerned, but we've got them in 3 stages, and it pretty much loop round there to the biggest here, or most advanced here. And if we go digging in, there's probably a bud in there. Yeah, there's a bud just sitting in there now, so we'll have to get a knock. Same with this one. You can see that bud there, and we'll give that a scene too in a bit. So there's about 3 plants that are going to beat the shows. Well, they won't, because I'm going to knock them back, and I'll probably send them back a good couple of 3 weeks, and others that seem to hopefully be making it normally. I haven't had the stem splitting yet, which it does do. It splits and then sort of rejoins in the middle. Strange, that variety. These are the Ben Houston, 12 of these again, and it looks like we might just be starting to see our first bud in there, but again, everything else is following behind, so I'm not going to have to do much. No buds as yet on the Bonaventure, which I'm quite pleased. These are the 6 plants that I just left and left and left. You see how high they've been stopped, probably about 2'6", and just left the smallest shoots on the stem to come through. This is like one of them, and they'll probably think about a bud soon, but we shall see. These are ones that I did in my normal method of stripping down to the ground and get them out the ground, and they're probably a bit behind those, so touch wood. Instead of touching a bamboo cane, I won't have to mess about. There's another plant that just rotted backwards from the stop, and this is Fairway Pilot. Again, we've got every range going from bigger plants like that, and there's no weak plants necessarily, they're just younger or later plants, and they go American to finish off the run. So there we go, there's a run through, that's the plot. We'll be hitting 30 degrees soon, and I'll still be on my hands and knees working through fettling these plants up, and maybe putting some second ties on some just to in readiness, because in another week's time there's too much to do. So if the string's already there, it's just one less job. Good luck, see you soon. Friday the 23rd, just to finish off. Just finished going through every plant, stripped it down to final numbers, took any rough off, and just lifted the lower leaves up, or stripped them off, as you can see, just about. Those are the brins, and some of the others have had their second ties. I'll work my way round now, just putting second ties on, albeit and somewhat premature. Probably the next time you'll see any of these will be next Wednesday, when I'm starting to secure the first buds for bank holiday. But so far, so good. See you soon.